What's up guys? Today I want to show you how I export my pictures for Instagram. There are many theories though. I found this one to be the best way. So once I'm done with my edit and I'm pretty much sure which framing I want, I'm cutting my stuff to 4 to 5. In this case it's already done, and this is a picture I haven't posted yet currently right now at this moment. So for me there are 4 factors that I take care of to get sharp images on Instagram. It's not only how you export it, it's also how you take care during the process of the edit. So this edit is already done, but the first step I'm always doing here in Lightroom for sharpening is putting the amount of the sharpening slider to around 50, 55, increasing the radius to 1.2, increasing the details to 30. This is already sharpening your details so much. And here it doesn't, of course, look good. I mean, it punches it, but it doesn't need any more details from sharpening here because it's already sharpened so much. So this is the first step I'm doing essentially. Then I'm exporting my work to Photoshop by pressing Ctrl E. It will automatically be open in Photoshop. And what I'm doing here is I'm simply creating a copy of my layer. It's by pressing Command and J. And then I have an action created already, which helps me to create a high pass detail. So let me show you how this actually works. If you don't have this action already, you need to set the layer to soft light. This is very important. Then go to filter, other, high pass. So now you can already see when I increase the pixels here that you get details out of your shot. Okay, this is another technique to high pass sharpen your pictures in Photoshop. You can overdo it, you can play normal with it, and I mostly go for 0.9 sharpening my pictures. And you can actually see what it does if you zoom in and turn it on and off. You get that extra little bit of details out of your images. So then simply save it, and it will be saved to your Lightroom catalog. I will not do it right now because we don't need that. So this is actually the third step that I'm doing. I forgot to tell you the second most important factor, which is the gear that you are owning. For example, the camera. I'm owning a DSLR camera. It's the Canon 5D Mark IV, and this one helps me to deliver very great and crisp images because it's a professional camera for sports photography actually. And the sensor itself is really great. It has a super huge dynamic range, which allows me to capture details in very dark parts of the image as well. This one here though is shot on a drone from a buddy from Hong Kong, so you can actually not compare it. So now let's get to the final export actually. You get into the export options by pressing Command and Shift and E. Altogether, this opens up the export box. Now you need to decide which dimensions of pixels you want to export, and I'm always exporting in 2048 pixels for the longest side of your picture. Now in this case the longest side is here. If you have a landscape mode picture, for example, the longest side would be the upper one, and this is where you want to put 2048 pixels on. Now there may be some people asking, and how do I determine how big this X is here? And I can tell you how you can do that actually. You simply have to open this photo in Photoshop, go into your image dimension settings, image size. You can see how big the actual picture is, and now simply crop it to 2048 pixels. And what happens on the other side is it scales down the side in correspondence to the other side. So this is how I did actually set it up. I just used a little trick in Lightroom, which helps me to not think about it if I have different dimensions from other pictures, and I just put in the 0. So it will auto calculate it. It doesn't matter if it's a 4 to 5 crop or a 2 to 3 crop in the portrait mode right out of camera. It's always 2048 pixels for me, and it's still a 2K wallpaper. The good thing about it is that you retain a lot of details in the 4 to 5 picture with the dimensions that I have chosen, and the image size of this picture, for example, now is 3.1.9 megabytes. It's actually a very good size. I would say it's a little bit too big already. I'm used to around 2 megabytes for a picture when I post it to Instagram, sometimes even less, around 1.5, which is actually better. So the less megabytes you have, but still retaining the quality in the picture, this is very important, the better it is for you. So Instagram is compressing a lot, as you know. This is why why you want to keep the file size as small as possible. Now let's shortly zoom in on the 2048 pixels crop here, and you can see the details actually stay very, very good. Very, very good, and good enough for Instagram. Even that it's cropped, then you can still see the sharpness of all the corners and edges. Alright, and in the last step, I'm always choosing output sharpening for my pictures once again for screen, and the amount is standard. I always choose that. And I think it also depends on how you shoot your pictures in your camera. You know, you can choose picture style, you can change the saturation, you can change the contrast, you can change the brightness levels and that stuff. And I'm always shooting a little bit undersaturated as well as a little bit less of contrast, and also the sharpness. I'm taking it down a little bit so that I have options later on with my sharpening process to refine all the details just how I want them to be. And just for the end, one more information that I want to give you. I'm exporting into my Google Drive anytime. I have folders called Instagram. I have folders called gallery posts and stories, and here's where I export my stuff to. It's automatically synchronizing in the background over a little tool, and all my data is always up to date. I simply switch over to my phone, download that stuff, post it to Instagram, so you have the fresh edit right away. I hope you liked this tutorial, guys. If you did, please double press this video to give me a like. It would help me out, and stay tuned for future stuff. There will always be coming more quick tips to help you increase your photography game.